Welcome back. Joining me is Denice Beights, Executive Director of the Fort Wayne Children's Choir, and she's here to talk about their upcoming concerts and some exciting changes happening in the new year. Denice, good to have you back on the show.
Thanks, Chuck. Good to be here.
The Fort Wayne Children's Choir is a company in residence at IPFW. Tell us what that means.
Well, we're part of the IPFW family. We are a community arts, a part of the community arts program. Sorry.
Yes.
And so what that means is that we serve the university as being just a connection to the community.
Absolutely.
And the university serves us by letting us be on campus. Our kids are here, and we have our rehearsals here and our office here, and it's just a great partnership for us to be a part of the IPFW
Right,
team.
and the students who are in the children's choir, they perform and they rehearse at the facilities here, and we always notice the parents dropping them off every night and picking them up, and it's really wonderful to have children on the campus.
Thank you.
And to expose them to a college campus, you know, in the hope that someday, you know, they'll go to college either here or somewhere else. It's a great thing for both of our organizations, I think.
It really is. And what's also great about it is that some of the kids in the music education program can work with our kids. So they're in our rehearsals, they help with one-on-one and as well as group settings. So it's a win-win-win all the way around. So some of our students, our college students, are working with your students. How long has the children's choir been in existence? Well, next season we'll be celebrating our 40th season.
Wow.
Right, so it's very exciting. We have big plans for next season. We're going to bring back some of our former artistic directors. We are planning to create a CD of all of our commissioned works. We plan to do some big things next season to really let the community know that we are so pleased to be a part of the community and to showcase what our kids can do.
40 years.
40 years.
And you're an IPFW graduate.
I am.
That's right, in music ed. Some upcoming events. Let's talk about this season before we get to next season.
Yes.
On February 25th, you have Music on Old Mill, which is going to be at the Unitarian Universalist Church. Tell us a little bit about that concert.
Sure. We are part of their year-long concert series at Music on Old Mill, and we'll be featuring our two older ensembles, our youth chorale, which is our high school ensemble, and our concert choir, which is our premier treble ensemble, middle school-aged kids. And they'll be performing an hour-long concert on their series. They'll be standalone. Those two groups will be doing the concert. And we're really pleased. It's a unique venue for our kids. It's where we've never performed before. And we typically do our own season concerts, but we haven't performed on someone else's season concert before. So this is a really exciting time for us, and it's a way for us to showcase those two premier ensembles.
That's right. And you mentioned that there are two ensembles in the children's choir organization. Is that all you have, or do you different levels of children singing? Yeah,
we have, this season we have about 250 kids across 7 ensembles, starting at age 8 with beginning choir, and then advancing through intermediate levels, and then in more advanced levels, all within that treble voice or unchanged voice. And then when about high school age, when voices start to expand for both men and women, we have a high school ensemble, and then a small octet, a chamber singers group that is some of our more advanced students from our youth chorale.
Well, on March 10th, another exciting event is coming to Fort Wayne, and we're going to have a concert, Music with Friends, and that's bigger than just one concert. So tell us a little bit about what's going on around March 10th here.
Yes, I will. The American Choral Directors Association is having their regional convention here in Fort Wayne, which is a great opportunity for us to have.
I'd say.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be great music all around the community for those 3 days, March 8th, 9th, and 10th. But the Cincinnati Children's Choir and the Chicago Children's Choir are both performing at that ACDA convention in Fort Wayne. So while they're here, we're going to have an exchange with them. So we'll do some get-to-know-you things with all 3 groups. So us, Chicago, and Cincinnati, our kids will get to know each other. And then we will rehearse together with a clinician and learn a combined piece, and then we'll give a concert, which is our Music with Friends concert, that evening here at IPFW. And then perform the combined piece, and then each choir will do a short mini concert during that time.
I see, but this is a big coup because the convention itself, people are going to come from all over the country to beautiful Fort Wayne and stay at the hotels downtown in the convention center, and you're going to actually have concerts all over the community during that weekend.
We won't, the Children's Choir won't, but the ACDA, yes, there'll be concerts all over at First Pres, at the Embassy, at the Grand Wayne Center, and many of those concerts are public, including our Time with Friends, our Music with Friends concert. So I encourage folks to check out our website as well as check the Convention and Visitors Bureau website to see what free concerts or at least public concerts are out there, because the
free is good.
Oh, free is great.
Yeah.
But the level of musicianship that we will have in Fort Wayne will be remarkable over
wonderful.
that weekend.
You know, you're doing some interesting things. You're kind of changing the subject a little bit, branching out into other communities that perhaps don't have children's choirs. Tell us a little bit about the satellite program that that you're involved with.
Sure. As a part of our strategic plan, we have been wanting to reach different audiences, and so we applied for and received a grant from the Follinger Foundation called an Inspire grant for us to research how other children's choirs throughout the country are reaching populations, you know, that aren't exactly like right here on campus.
Or in Fort Wayne.
Or in Fort Wayne, right, exactly. So we have traveled to a few organizations throughout the country. We're traveling to a few more. And what we're finding is that we need to break down geographical barriers for them to get to rehearsals. That's the first and foremost thing. So in the meantime, we started a pilot program in Whitley County. Whitley County is a very sports-rich community. And they would not characterize themselves as a very arts-rich community. So in collaboration with the Whitley Arts Partnership, we've created a children's choir that's based in Columbia City. We have a director from Columbia City, Heidi Emmert. She is the worship director at the Methodist Church there. And Becky Walter, who is a former elementary school teacher there, who direct the choir out there. And they are part of the Fort Wayne Children's Choir. They look like us. We take care of the infrastructure.
Great.
They take care of the artistic end under our direction. And we have 24 kids in the choir. This is our. They started last spring, so they did half a season last year. They're in full season this year with us. They're part of our concert series. They have.
So they come here and perform, and
they come to
perform as well out in Whitley.
Exactly.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
Now, let's just say you're an audience, a viewer watching our show right now, and we have a broad range of broadcasting range, and you're thinking, well, geez, my community might be interested in exploring, having the opportunity to have a children's choir. What do? They just
contact us.
You're open.
Right. We are doing a needs assessment right now of what communities would be best served by having us there, and what's the priority order based on our resources, who we know, because there's a lot of moving parts to it in terms of location and director and accompanist and where we have access to the children. So we are anticipating moving north next to a community up north, as well as potentially moving to the southeast quadrant of Fort Wayne, because we know that North and South Anthony, although that's one big long street that stretches across our community, it could take sometimes 30 minutes to get from one end to the other.
You're absolutely right. We run the Community Arts Academy here, which services 1,000 children a year taking arts classes and music classes. Sometimes it's hard for a kid to get a ride to IPFW.
Exactly.
And I think that's a really good idea to sort of spread out into the community.
Right.
Some people don't have those advantages.
Right. So we want to break down barriers in terms of geography, distance, money, perception. It could be perceived that being a part of the choir takes lots of money. No, we have scholarships.
Yes.
It could take lots of time to get there. No, let's break down that barrier. So our goal is to really provide an opportunity for kids who want access to it, regardless of where they are.
Okay, so if you're a parent watching the show, how do you get your kid involved with children's choir? Are there auditions?
There are auditions. We audition each May for the following season. If you happen to miss May, we do some one-on-one auditions throughout the summer, but our season starts in September. So our main audition is in May. We audition kids in groups of 5 or 6 that are about the same age. It's not intimidating. They sing a familiar tune, and then they chant back and forth while the director sings to them, so we can hear pitch, we can hear tone, we can hear that they're not screaming or yelling, and then we have them do a theory assessment to see where they stand with what kind of music literacy and theory do they know, and then we place them accordingly. The last 2 seasons we've had about a 95% acceptance rate.
That's good.
And it's simply because we typically use music teachers to help screen what kids have some talent, passion, desire to be a part of this.
Yes,
and then
that's a great thing for a kid to do. And like you say, most kids get in.
Yep.
It's you don't have to be a fabulous singer. There's different levels, and it's a good thing for them to do. Some more events now. On March 18th, they're going to be participating in the Fame Festival, another company in residence here at Fort Wayne, but this is going to be at the Grand Wayne Center.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about that.
The Fame Festival is such a great part of our community. We're so lucky to be a part of it. And we will have 3 of our ensembles performing during the festival. our younger three, Apprentice, Lyric, and then our Whitley County Choir will be performing.
Wonderful.
And they'll each do some pieces on their own and then a joint piece. So we have a pretty big time block there so we can showcase all three ensembles.
Okay.
It'd be great fun for the kids to be there.
Yes, that's a big deal down
really
there at the Grand Wayne Center. You have your annual spring concert coming up on April 22nd, and that's going to be at IPFW as well. It
is. We showcase all of our ensembles there, so all of our Fort Wayne campus ones as well as the Whitley County Choir will be there. And it's a great concert. And what we have done for this concert is we've commissioned a piece by a composer from Southern Indiana called Malcolm Douglas, and he is composing a piece for young voices and hammered dulcimer.
Wow.
And it's going to be incredible. It's for our intermediate level choir, so our Lyric and Whitley County choirs will be singing that piece. And we're hoping to have him up here so the kids can do a little bit of in residency with him. So just talk about the composition process, for them to meet him, and then for him to hear the kids sing his piece that's being composed.
Okay, and then also on April 23rd, you have the Young People's Concert. Is that something you do all the time, or what's the premise?
Right, that's an annual event, and what we found is that if kids can't see their peers singing like that, they can't get a handle of what we do. So what we do is we invite elementary school kids, typically 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders, on campus. We typically have between 600 and 700 kids here on that day, and they see kids their own age that looks like them that could be from their school singing, and we do solfege, so like from
a
the Sound
free
of Music.
event?
It's a free event. Actually, it's $2 a kid.
$2 a kid, and you know, it's just a great way to get introduced to what you could be a part of.
Right, and we invite public, private, and homeschoolers to attend.
Oh, good.
So they can get a sense, and it's right before auditions. So they say, oh, I really liked that. I want to talk to my mom and dad, so then I could come and audition.
Well, okay. Well, Denice, that's all the time we have. It's so good to see you again.
Good to see
you guys are doing great work over there at the Children's Choir.
Thank you.
For more information about the Fort Wayne Children's Choir, visit them at fwcchoir.org or call them at 481-0481. Arts Weekly airs every week, Tuesday through Thursday on College Access Television and most Sundays on WFWA PBS 39. You can also see us on YouTube and Facebook and follow us on Twitter. I'm Chuck O'Connor. Thanks for tuning in to Arts Weekly. Join me next week with Dorothy Kataka from Fort Wayne Sister Cities and Barbara Resch from the Indiana Music Education Association.